Okay, this lecture is about the science of ghosts. Now, ghost stories are fun for most people, especially on Halloween, but there are some people in the world that believe ghosts are real. In fact, every year, scientists do a survey in the United States where they ask people, do you think ghosts are real? Now, this year, 58% of people agreed that a place can be haunted with ghosts. In fact, 1 out of every 5 people said they saw a ghost in their lifetime. There are many ghost hunting TV shows on American television and maybe on other television as well, but it's very popular on American television. And on these shows, men will go into haunted houses, and women, they go into haunted houses and they try to record ghosts on camera. They always use this scientific equipment and they have all these creepy photos. And it makes it seem like ghosts could exist. However, none of these TV shows have ever actually proven a ghost. They're usually just made to fool people. Um, and the equipment that they use to capture the noise of the ghost or the image of the ghost, um, those are just fake equipment. Um, Ghosts are the least likely of to be possible. In fact, scientists for all of history have found zero evidence that ghosts exist. They have uncovered some mysteries about ghosts, and they have discovered why people think that they have seen a ghost. So let's talk about some reasons why people think they've seen a ghost, but there's actually another explanation. Let's talk about sleep paralysis. Now, usually dreams happen when you're asleep and they end before you wake up. But sometimes the brain messes up this process. Sleep paralysis is a condition that leaves someone feeling awake, but they are paralyzed and frozen in place. Sometimes people might see or hear or feel a figure or a creature that isn't really there. They're having a sleep hallucination. Some people say that sleep paralysis is like dreaming with your eyes open. This is according to Baland Jalal. Baland Jalal studies sleep paralysis at the University of Cambridge in England. Our most vivid, lifelike dreams happen during a certain stage of sleep, and that's called REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. In this stage, your eyes dart around underneath your eyelids, moving back and forth and back and forth. Although your eyes move, the rest of your body cannot move. It's paralyzed. Now, this is to prevent people from acting out their dreams, which could get really dangerous. I mean, imagine if your body was able to move during your dreams. You would flail your arms and legs as you're playing basketball in your dream. You could fall off your bed and hurt yourself. So your brain turns off your body movement while you're dreaming. So this is what causes sleep paralysis. Um, in sleep paralysis, you could wake up during your dream, you could still be having the dream, but you can't move. Let's talk about another reason that people think they've seen a ghost. That's a hallucination. You see, you don't have to be asleep to see things that aren't there. I mean, have you ever felt your phone buzz in your pocket, but then you check it and there's no message? Have you ever looked at a shadow and thought you saw a face? Well, these are what's called hallucinations, according to David Smayles. David Smayles is a psychologist at Northumbria University in England. He studies the human mind and human behavior. He thinks that just about everybody in the world has had a hallucination. Most of us just ignore them, but some people think they saw a ghost. You know, We're used to our brain giving us accurate information about what we see and smell and hear and taste. So when most people have a hallucination, their first instinct is to believe it. For example, you may feel the presence of a loved one who's died. Now, if you trust your perception, then it has to be a ghost. However, most likely what's happening is your brain is lying to you. Let's talk about one more reason that people think they've seen a ghost, and that is something called pareidolia. Pareidolia. Now let's talk about this. Your brain has a tough job. It has to get all the information from the world around you. Your eyes have to take in color, your ears have to take in sounds, your skin has to feel sensations of pressure, and then your brain has to take all of this information and give it to you so you know what you're experiencing. This is called bottom-up processing, and the brain is very good at it. Now, the brain is so good at it that sometimes it will find meaning in meaningless things. When your brain can find meaning in meaningless things, this is called pareidolia. It's a tendency to see meaning in a vague or random pattern. Like when you look at the clouds in the sky, you might think the clouds look like objects or animals. Or when you look at the moon, you might think you see a face. Well, the brain also does top-down processing. That's where it adds information to your perception of the world. Now, most of the time, there is way too much stuff coming into your brain. If you paid attention to all of it, you'd be overwhelmed. So your brain picks out the most important parts and it fills in the rest. David Smalley says, the vast majority of perception is the brain filling in the gaps between information. And that can mean that your brain will add things that isn't there. So the pictures you see on the screen, many people feel like they see faces. But these are not faces. This is your brain just making you think you see a face. Anyone can experience sleep paralysis, hallucinations, or pareidolia. Not everyone will immediately think they saw a ghost. So, if someone ever tells you they saw a ghost, you just listen to their story. But think carefully about what was described, because there could be a better explanation.